I've smoked quite a bit of DMT in my life, but I only really blasted off once. This story might sound fucking crazy to someone that doesn't know anything about DMT or how powerful this drug is. I've told a few people about this experience and they looked at me like I was crazy. I don't know, maybe I am a bit crazy, but that's beside the point. This is my blast-off experience on DMT. I took about 100 milligrams of DMT and put it on a very small, almost cached bowl of weed. I was feeling a bit nervous about what was going to happen and what I was going to see. I knew this was going to be the blast-off that I had anticipated for years. I took the first toke, hitting it as hard as I could and trying not to cough out this harsh, thick smoke. I held the smoke in my lungs for about 30 seconds, and then I exhaled a huge cloud of mothball-smelling smoke. I coughed a couple of times and then went for my second toke. I began feeling very nervous as I drew the second hit deep into my lungs. My thoughts started racing, and I began hearing a very high-pitched ring that kept getting louder and louder. I don't remember exhaling the second toke, so I don't know how big it was, but I don't think it was as large as the first one. At this point, the ringing in my ears had gotten so loud it was almost unbearable, and it was starting to bend into colors. I suddenly went flying through a colorful tunnel, seeing everyone I've ever known in my life going by me super fast. It was so fast their heads started to bend back and form an oblong, alien-looking shape. It was then that it seemed like something popped. The next thing I remember was lying on what looked like a stainless steel operating table. There were several of these tables lined up next to me. The tables had round holes in it, maybe to let fluids drain off during an operation. I looked around the room, not knowing where I was, what I was doing there, or what was happening. The room was almost all stainless steel, except for a small window that was to my left. Outside the window I could see the stars, and it looked like I was in space. There were no trippy colors or shapes in this room, I might add. In front of me were three beings standing there looking at me. They had on what looked like white lab coats and surgical masks. Their eyes were very big, round, and all black. They also had smooth gray skin and oblong heads. One of them came up to my left side and poked me in the arm like it was drawing my blood or injecting me with something. They started talking to me telepathically, saying that I did not smoke enough this time. They told me to smoke more, come back, and they would tell me everything I wanted to know. I was thinking, smoke more of what? What the fuck is going on? Then I hear them saying we're losing him. I slowly started fading back into my room. I tried to stand up but fell back down on my bed. A few minutes later I was back to baseline. My girlfriend at the time asked me what had happened and what I had seen. All I could say to her was, aliens. I saw aliens. She was like, oh shit, that's crazy. She said I was out for about 10 minutes, slumped over and looking like I was asleep with my eyes open. I have to say this kind of scared the shit out of me. I had been eating acid and mushrooms for years, but they never made me trip that hard. The only thing that has even come close to making me trip as hard as DMT was salvia. This DMT trip was about 6 years ago, and I still can remember it like it happened yesterday. I haven't had the balls to smoke more and go back yet, but it is on my list to do before I die.